All right, what happened after the 8 weeks you were with that family? Then where did you go?
After 8 weeks with the family,
Why did you leave them? Did they make you leave?
uh, yes. I went into a job as a furrier trainee. I made fur coats, and I worked there until the outbreak of war. And I manufactured fur coats
Now,
with me.
this was for an Englishman you worked?
Yeah, an Englishman. Yeah,
And how did he treat you?
he treated me fairly well. Yes.
Was he Jewish?
Yes, he was a Jew. Mostly furriers in England are Jews.
How did you find the job?
The job was acceptable, and at that time I didn't live anymore with the family. I was put in a hostel for boys, English-speaking
Yes.
people, and
Did you have to pay?
no, that always was covered by the people in England.
And do you know whether it was the same Jewish committee that was paying for this?
Yeah, there was a same Jewish committee.
It wasn't the British government that
No,
was.
I don't think so. No,
It was all set up.
I was set up as a Jewish committee.
And in that hostel, were there any of the children who would come across with you? Did you see any of those people again?
No, they were all English boys,
Oh,
orphans,
I see.
and I was treated fairly well. And I lived there until the outbreak of war.
Now,
And
did the Levy family object to your leaving?
no, they did not. In fact, they arranged my being in the
Oh, they got you
in the
the
hospital.
job.
They got me the job.
I see. And the man treated you well.
They treated me well. He was an English officer in the submarine.
Oh. And did you ever talk with him about what was happening in Germany?
Yeah, his name was Hill. as
Hill?
in the Hill, yeah. And I spoke to him several times. As I said, he treated me very well. And one day we even made an excursion to a submarine. We went inside, and he showed us the inside of the submarine.
Now, did he pay you for working?
Yes, he paid me
He
a small
did.
amount, yes. And in turn I had to pay for the upkeep.
You mean at the orphanage?
Yeah, in the orphanage, in the hostel.
Do you remember how much he
No,
paid
I don't
you?
remember that.
But did you have anything left over for yourself after
Yes,
you paid
I had,
the orphanage?
Yeah, small things. Yeah.
And
not much, but it was enough.
Do you remember how many days or how many hours a day you worked?
Well, full time, from 9 o'clock to 4 o'clock. Yeah.
And then how did you spend your evenings?
In the evening, I went back to the hospital, and I went for a walk in the. They had a. I lived in Kentish Town. They had nice hills there, Parliament Hill Fields. I went for a walk there. Sometimes I went on Sunday. I went to the movies.
Did you meet any other German people?
No, not at that time.
Did you ever try to explain or make the British people understand what was going on in your country?
I never met any English people there at that time. I was completely isolated in a hostel there.
So you kept
I tried to explain it to my warden, who was in charge of the hostel, and he understood. But how much he understood, I don't know.
All right, then they put you in a prison in England?
Before the war, I tried to get my parents out from Germany, but it was already too late.
And then you were considered an enemy alien.
The war broke out, and I was considered an enemy alien. And my category was C. They had A, B, and C. I was C, enemy alien.
What did the A, B, and C signify?
A was the most dangerous ones, B in the middle, and C
Not so bad.
not too bad. Uh, at that time, people were very much afraid of parachutist German activities behind the lines, that they dropped parachutes and so on, and they decided to intern all aliens. At that time, everybody was interned. I was put on a truck again, and I went to an internment camp. At that time, they gave me an option either to go to Canada or to Australia. And I said to them, it makes no difference. So I was put on a boat. They didn't tell me where it went to, but I was supposed to go to Canada, but they went to Australia.
Tell me a little bit about this camp. Did anyone ever try to recruit you to translate anything for them? Or was your English not good enough?
Oh, my English was good enough, yeah, sure.
But they never said to you, you could come help the British Army, we would
Oh,
let you...
at that time, no. They decided that on that afterwards, much after.
I see.
Much after.
What was life in this camp? Tell me about the kinds of people
it
who were
was,
there.
put it that way, acceptable.
All men and boys?
It was a race course. It was open. You slept with blankets on a race course. And,
but they treated you well?
Acceptable, put it that way.
But better than Buchenwald?
Well, of course, naturally.
They gave you blankets, they fed you?
They fed us.
3 meals a day?
2 meals a day.
2 meals a day?
So that was I didn't stay there long. I only stayed there a couple of days. So they asked us, what do you want? So whether we want to go overseas.
Yes.
So I said, all right.
But now I thought you said you had been interned from May to July of 1940.
But that was in Australia also. We're talking about England now.
I see. So you were in the internment
in
camp
England.
in
I was only a couple of days.
And they put
then I
you on
wanted
the
to go on
ship.
a boat, and I went to Australia. In Australia, I was interned a few years. So it was a prison boat.
Yes.
All the way around barbed wire. The food was acceptable, and in the back we had German prisoners and Italians, and our guards were pioneers from Dunkirk. They were very much against us because they had such hard experience with the Germans, and they didn't know who we were.
So they, on the ship, they didn't separate you into
they separated
A,
us
B,
from
and
the
C.
Germans in the back. We were in front, in the bottom of the hole, and we had 1 trip a day outside. On both sides we had machine guns, and that we won't accept. They ripped our suitcases open, looked for whatever they stole goods.
You had been allowed to take a
I
suitcase
forgot to
with
mention one thing from England.
Yes?
I was in hospital for a week to treat me for my feet. I'm sorry, I forgot that.
That's all right. And that was successful?
Yeah, that was successful.
Did you have to ask for that, or did someone notice?
Well, I asked for that, yes. They put me in hospital.
And did you have to pay for that?
No.
No. All right, on this transport ship, there were Nazis and
Italians, prisoners of war, yes.
And they separated you, but they didn't.
Yes, they were in the back and we were in front.
And were they cruel to you? Were the guards cruel to you?
They ripped up the suitcases and stole our things. They stole our watches and whatever.
But was anybody beaten?
No.
And so no one was punished for speaking or anything?
No.
And the